afford to get discouraged.
Ooh, another good jab by Bungu lands flush on the face of McKinney.
Bungu, after a slow first minute, is getting off better, initiating the action. Good right hand to the body there by Kennedy McKinney. He is a good body puncher, and a lot of that punching, especially the right hand to the body, will help take a lot of the movement away. Then the right hand to the body will take the legs away from the champion Bungu.
We had one good right hand to the body by Kennedy McKinney. Another good right hand to the ribs. A warning from Christodoulou about the elbow.
And that's very interesting, Dan, because there had been a protest by the Bungu corner manager about Kennedy McKinney using his elbow, and Kennedy at the good
combination by Bungu. He lands a left and a right to McKinney.
Kennedy in his camp took great exception to it, said, "I am not a dirty fighter," but it is apparent that the Bungu camp has won the first round in that war of words.
Well, McKinney worried that Bungu goes too close to him last fight. He couldn't get him away. That's one way to clear a fighter with that forearm shiver. Coming to the end of round number 1 from South Africa. It is a very vocal crowd here in South Africa. They like to sing as the fight goes on, and of course they are singing for their countryman Vuyani Bungu in the blue shorts. This is his 8th title defense, although he has not fought in 8 months, Alex.
You would expect that he would not be razor sharp at that much inactivity. He does have excellent sparring in his gym in East London. Ex-champion Welcome Nita, who we saw against Kennedy McKinney. Very high caliber of 122-pound fighters in that gym, but nothing makes up for the action in the ring, and 8 months is a long time to be out.
The last time he fought Jesus Salud, and he received a pretty fair cut over his eye.
Yeah, they wanted to let that have time to heal, and there were some complications with the scar tissue they wanted to clear up. Again, Bungu in the opening minute here, not getting off quickly, but Kennedy is not taking advantage of it. He's shooting his jab, but it's not finding its mark. Both men seem to be pacing themselves more than they did in their first fight.
That's a very pawing jab by Kennedy McKinney. Certainly no pop to it.
That's right. I mean, the thing to look for here, Dan, is can Kennedy McKinney at age 31, after losing his title and then fighting a tremendous war with another great 122-pounder, Marco Antonio Barrera, last year, perhaps the fight of the year in which Kennedy got stopped. It was a fight that took a lot out of both men. Barrera got beat last November, and it'd be interesting to see how much it took out of Kennedy McKinney. He does not, in the opening going here, have the crispness and the authority that he needs to get his title back.
Bungu has connected with 3 solid left hands. He is getting over the right hand of McKinney, who's carrying it a little low. Bungu scoring at will with the left hand against McKinney.
And the interesting thing is, Kennedy is known as a man who can block a left, but each
another left.
Again, the left hand gets on.
Sailing right over the top of the right hand of Kennedy McKinney. And it will be a long evening here in South Africa if he eats that with any regularity.
Another right scored by Bungu. Kennedy, to his credit, did land a right hand to the body. He is not getting away from the game plan of body punching, but he is, I think, Dan, started off very, very slow and has dug himself an early hole. And you might see that there is some swelling. It is very typical of Kennedy to have swelling problems under and above his eyes, and you can see some of that starting already.
Combination by McKinney hit nothing but glove. A very strong second round for the South African fighter, Vuyani Bungu. The beginning of round number 3 inside the tent out on the parking lot of the Carousel Casino. Kennedy McKinney's corner imploring him to get busy, start moving, as the first 2 rounds, I think, clearly have been in favor of Bungu, the champ.
The one edge that Kennedy McKinney has most definitely is power, especially in the right hand. He is a devastating right hand puncher. Won the title actually with a one-punch knockout when he was behind on points to Vuyani Bungu's stablemate, Welcome Nita. in the 11th round, just drilled home an unbelievable right hand, one of the best one-punch knockouts in the history of this division.
He won this junior featherweight title from a South African, Nita, and then lost it to another South African, Bungu. And now he's attempting to win it back. So Kennedy McKinney has had to do some serious work against South African 122-pounders. Big right hand misses by Nita. Now I'm welcome Nita. By Vuyani Bungu.
Kennedy pawing, not really drilling the jab.
We want to remind our ABC stations that at the end of this round, we'll be taking a station break.
You see, look at Bungu right there facing the camera. Look how nicely he holds his hands up. He's just a very difficult opponent, makes very few mistakes. Hands up, moving his head, moving his body at the waist, moving his feet side to side, lets his hands go, puts pressure on. Not an easy opponent at all. And there you see Kennedy on the inside. Moved away nicely that time. That punch missed despite the crowd's reaction.
No, the crowd reacted to it, but the fact was that McKinney had his hands down and was in no position to block that punch.
And the other point is that he didn't make him pay when he made him miss.
A good straight right hand by Bungu came up a little short. Again, the crowd reacting to everything he throws, not necessarily to what he lands.
Kennedy wants this fight on the outside. In the first fight, Bungu did smother him, and he has the fight on the outside, but he's just not accurate. You see the two misses there. Just hitting air. Here, the jab, measuring with the jab, but then not able to come back with the right behind it.
A good right hand by McKinney lands. That one came up short.
Not snapping the punches.
It's the end of the third round, and we'll be right back after a word from our ABC stations. Welcome back to South Africa. Dan Deerdorf at ringside along with Alex Follow. We're here for the IBF Junior Featherweight Championship. Kennedy McKinney on the left of your screen, the American challenger. Vuyani Bungu in the blue shorts for the Stars, defending his title for the 8th time. And certainly, Alex, the third round, the best round that McKinney's had yet.
Yeah, he showed some signs of life. I'm not sure if it was enough to win the round, but at least he showed something in terms of a plan, and it actually started to land some punches. Just pushing that jab, though.
And he made Bungu miss. Bungu was landing with some regularity. A reminder, the next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central on ABC's Wide World of Sports, the Valvoline Professional Boxing Series continues. We're going to bring you the IBF Junior Middleweight title from Las Vegas, Raul Marquez versus Anthony Stevens. And then we'll also have a major tune-up for the Kentucky Derby, the Wood Memorial Invitational presented by Visa. Next Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
It'll be very interesting to see Raul Marquez, Dan. He was touted, highly touted as an Olympian. Did not come through. Ooh, that right hand by McKinney just missed the sweet spot. But Raul Marquez is undefeated, has shown a lot of power as a professional. Low blow there by Bungu, and gets a warning from the referee.
Kennedy McKinney has thrown a couple uppercuts in this round. McKinney looking far more confident, and man looks like he's preparing to go to work. But again, Bungu fights out of this crouch and is very awkward to hit.
I'll say this for Kennedy, he is a more difficult target in this fight than he was in the first fight. He has not yet solved the problem of how to hit Bungu consistently, but Bungu is not hitting him as consistently.
Kennedy complained in the first fight against Bungu that he just couldn't get him off of him. He said he put his head in my shoulder and I just couldn't get space to hit him. He also admitted he wasn't in very good shape. He took him far too lightly and, of course, paid a very stiff price for it in losing his title.
Well, you see Kennedy moving a little bit for the first time. He would be much better off fighting this fight at distance, using his superior size and reach, height and reach. His problem is, how does he land a punch on this young man who is so difficult? Coming in with his hands high. Good right hand there by Bungu on the right of your screen.
This bout is scheduled for a dozen rounds. This, the end of the fourth. Fighters meet in the middle of the ring for the start of round number 5.
A third of the way through the fight, Dan, if it goes the distance, and on my scorecard at least, Bungu dominated.
That left hand by McKinney caught the glove of Bungu.
In their first fight, which Bungu won decisively, conclusively, even on Kenny McKinney's, even by his admission,